Anaya was the kind of girl who always found beauty in forgotten things. On a quiet evening, she wandered into an antique shop at the edge of the old city. The air was heavy with the smell of dust and wood, and every corner was filled with objects that seemed to carry centuries of silence. Her eyes drifted from old clocks to rusted lamps, until she stopped at a peculiar wooden frame. It was unlike anything she had ever seen, carved with strange symbols, its glass faintly shimmering even in the dim light. The old shopkeeper, with eyes sharp, despite his age, watched her closely. He told her softly that the frame was not for everyone, that it revealed more than just images. But Anaya, charmed and curious, insisted on buying it. With a knowing smile, he let her go, warning her that some truths should remain unseen. That night, in the solitude of her small room, Anaya placed the frame on her desk. Her room was cluttered with paintbrushes, sketches, and canvases, her world of imagination. At first, the frame sat still, reflecting nothing more than her own tired face. But slowly, the glass rippled like water, disturbed by an unseen hand. Mist swirled within the frame until it cleared, forming an image. Anaya's heart froze. It was her mother, years younger, sitting in a hospital corridor, her face buried in her hands as she cried. Anaya's lips trembled as she reached out, but the vision shifted again, showing her childhood self sitting alone in the rain, drawing quietly while the world ignored her. Startled, Anaya pulled her hand away, and the glass immediately turned black. The room felt colder, as though a presence had been awakened. The next morning, unable to resist, Anaya sat before the frame again. The glass came alive with a faint glow. This time, it revealed her best friend, Mira. The two of them were smiling and laughing together. But then the vision changed. Mira leaned toward another girl, her expression different, her voice whispering cruelly. She's sweet, but so naive, always lost in her little world. Anaya's breath caught in her chest. She wanted to deny it, but the frame did not allow her comfort. Before she could look away, the glass flickered again. It now showed her father, sneaking out of the house at night, his face shadowed with guilt. Anaya's hands trembled. Fear and anger surged inside her. The frame was no mirror, it was a window into secrets she was never meant to see. Confused and terrified, she stormed back to the antique shop. The shopkeeper listened without surprise. His silence was more unsettling than any explanation. Finally, he told her that the frame never lied. It revealed hidden truths, not just of the past and present, but sometimes of what was yet to come. When Anaya whispered that it had shown her covered in blood, the shopkeeper's face darkened. He warned her that what she had seen was not a vision, but a warning. His words echoed in her ears as she carried the cursed frame back home. That night, the frame glowed brighter than ever. Anaya sat trembling in front of it, praying it would stay dark, but the mist began to swirl once more. Her stomach knotted as the vision formed. This time it was worse than before. She saw herself, her future self, standing in her own room, hands dripping with blood.
On the floor, Mira lay unconscious, motionless, blood pooling around her head.
Anaya screamed and covered the frame with a blanket, but the glow seeped through the fabric, refusing to be hidden. She collapsed on her bed, shaking. The image burned into her mind.
The following days became unbearable.
Every time Anaya saw Mira at college, the vision returned in her thoughts. Mira's laughter, once a comfort, now carried a hidden weight. Anaya forced smiles, but her hands trembled when they walked together. Even something as simple as a stone lying on the ground made her shiver, for in her vision, that very stone had been the weapon. She muttered to herself that she would not let it happen, that she would change her fate. But the frame's voice haunted her in the stillness of night. Locked in her cupboard, the frame whispered with a voice, not entirely human. "You cannot hide the truth," it said, the words slithering into her dreams. One night, desperate, Anaya pulled it out and hurled it against the wall. Instead of shattering, the frame remained whole. The glass lit up, revealing her own reflection, eyes darker, lips curling in a cold smile. The reflection whispered to her, "The future is waiting." Anaya stumbled back, terrified of herself. Finally, the day of destiny arrived. Anaya and Mira met at the park. It was an ordinary day, sunlight filtering through the trees, children playing in the distance. Yet Anaya's heart pounded with dread. Mira noticed her pale face and furrowed brows. She reached out with concern, asking what was wrong. When Anaya failed to respond, Mira playfully shoved her shoulder to lighten the mood. Anaya stumbled, and as if fate was repeating itself, her hand closed around a stone. Time seemed to freeze. She saw the vision, felt its weight. For a heartbeat, she believed destiny had won. But with a trembling cry, Anaya threw the stone away, dropped to her knees, and clung to Mira in a desperate embrace. Tears poured down her face as she whispered that she had changed, that the future would not own her. That night, she returned to the antique shop, the frame in her arms. Her eyes were filled with exhaustion, but also determination. She placed the frame on the counter and told the shopkeeper that no one should ever have it, that it was too dangerous. The shopkeeper, with the same faint smile as before, simply said that the frame chooses its owner, not the other way around. Anaya left without another word, relieved to be free of its grasp. The shop fell silent once more. The frame sat quietly on the shelf, its glass faintly glowing as though it were alive, waiting. Moments later, the bell above the shop door chimed. A new customer entered, their eyes immediately drawn to the very same frame. The story had not ended, it had only found its next chapter. The screen fades to black with a final whisper. Some truths are never meant to be seen, yet curiosity always finds a way.